Hello, I'm so excited for today because I asked you guys what you would like to watch me make, and I had a lot of responses that said apple pie cookies, and that is one of my favorite recipes. So I think this will be fun, perfect for the holidays and for winter too because it's got apple in it. This is a good one to show you because it's so simple, yet a lot of people had a little bit of a problem figuring out how to use the caramel and the apple and the lattice. So I think this will be very informative and fun and simple, as you'll see. Okay, sorry, I had a text. Okay, so I'll start by telling you exactly what it is I use. It may be just a tiny bit different from the original recipe, but only to make it better, and it's nothing drastic. So you won't see a lot of difference, but this is 2 tablespoons of caramel sauce that will get spread all over the bottom crust. Then we need another crust which gets sliced into 17 slices, which is 18 strips. You'll see how I end up getting this from here to there, but it's simple. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Trust me, it wasn't easy learning it, but hopefully when you see it in action, you'll understand it a little bit better. I used a little bit of flour to roll these out. I have a 3-inch cookie cutter, biscuit cutter, 1 egg with a splash of water for egg wash, 1 cup of chopped up apple pie filling, and it's really chopped up. You want it spreadable and not big, huge chunks. And then I have 2 teaspoons of cinnamon sugar mixed together with 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. You can make your cinnamon sugar ratio however you enjoy it. I like 2 to 1. Some people like a little more cinnamon and less sugar, and vice versa. So make your mixture how you like it, and it's 2 tablespoons of that cinnamon sugar, 2 teaspoons of that cinnamon sugar, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. And that's going to get sprinkled all over the top of the cookies. So I'm going to start and just evenly brush out the caramel. I think in the original recipe, people had a little bit of an issue with the caramel because I think I overestimated the caramel a little bit and put too much. You really don't need a lot, as you'll be able to tell, because once it bakes, it all spreads out and it makes just a really nice little extra touch to these cookies. It doesn't need to be thick, it doesn't need to be gooey. The heat will do all the magic in the oven. So once you do that, you want to do the exact same thing with the apple pie filling. Dump it into the center, if it will come out. There we go. All right, so then you just do the same thing with the pie filling and you evenly spread it out. You can go all the way to the edges with this because once we lay out the lattice, we're going to cut the cookies out so they will have their own borders. It's not like a pie or a tart where you need to leave a 1-inch border. Just do it as best you can. And you can cut yours a little bit finer than I did too if you want to. I could have actually taken this a little bit farther. You might be a little bit neater too because I'm watching the camera and I'm watching what I'm doing, so I'm seeing kind of 2 different things and not being able to be too precise. But I think this will at least give you an idea of how it's done, and then you can of course be a little bit more careful. Here comes the part where a lot of people had an issue. Let me move. I use this to slice my slices. What you want to do, what I do, and I don't know if this is the professional way that bakers do it, this is just what I found to work. I start at the end, and I think of this in terms of half of these strips. So there's 18 strips, I'm going to use 9 for the top. And I'm going to start by placing 1 strip, and it does not have to be perfect, right there. I'm going to skip a strip and pull up this one. And if they break, no big deal, you can always add it back on. And then I'm gonna leave a space where another strip would go, right here. And I'm gonna place that one. I'm gonna put this little end. Any imperfections really won't matter. You'll see in the end, once they're baked, don't freak out if one breaks or it's not even or whatever. You'll see that they all work out. So again, I'm gonna skip this one now and I'm gonna pull up this one. And it's not gonna really cooperate with me, and that's okay. I am the boss of these. So again, I'm gonna leave another space here because we're gonna be weaving this. All right, so I'm gonna put the camera down and finish this, and I will show you how I weave it together when I come back. That way I have two hands and it doesn't look too mangled for you guys. But I think you get the idea, and I will be right back and you will see how it's done. Okay, so I had a little bit of a problem with the pie crust, and I could easily not post this video and make everything perfect and then post a perfect video, but that's not reality. And this stuff happens. You know, I had a bad batch of dough. It wasn't Pillsbury dough. I have to say, this time I used, you can see right here, Kroger store brand pie crust. And I haven't really had a bad result with that, but Pillsbury is foolproof. So I do recommend that. This dough pie crust was very dry and it kind of affected the outcome, but it won't really matter once we bake them. So I wanted you to see that even though this kind of looks like a messy lattice job, I'm going to go ahead and cut out the cookies, place them on a parchment lined baking sheet, and bake them up. And they're still going to be delicious. I don't think anybody who doesn't see it at this stage is ever going to know or care. So that's why I'm going to continue on, even though it's kind of messy. Really just treat the bottom pie crust that has the apple on it like a normal pie when you go to put your lattice on. Lattice it up like you would any other pie, and you'll be good to go. Move away the edges. Keep in mind also I'm doing this with one hand, and it really is difficult to make things as pretty as I'd like. Here's another thing too. A lot of people like to do the egg wash and cinnamon after they cut out the cookies. Typically I like to put it on first, but since I've already cut one out, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Not only am I using one hand, I'm using my left hand so that I can film with my right hand. So there's two. I'm going to continue doing these and you'll see that, but I want to show you. Just brush on the egg wash. And this kind of just helps it all bind together when it bakes and helps the cinnamon and sugar stick and gives it kind of a nice golden color, like pie. I like a lot of cinnamon sugar, just like the pie. That's how I like my pie. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out the rest. I will show you this before I put it in the oven, and then you will definitely see the end result, and we will see you in a minute. And here are the 7 apple pie cookies. Did make 7. I am not creative enough to get one more cookie out of this. These are the little ends that will be left behind. A lot of people have an issue with these. Feel free to bake them up. I mean, they're going to be delicious. They're ugly, but they're going to be delicious. I'm not going to bake them up today because I'm focusing on the cookies, but if you have a problem throwing this away, heck, do something with them. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. But it did create 7 cookies, and I put egg wash on them and the cinnamon and nutmeg. I have to tell you, the nutmeg, the addition of that nutmeg makes these cookies just delish. I love it. If you don't like nutmeg, just do cinnamon and sugar, or vice versa, or whatever you like on your pie. So these are going to go into the oven at 350. I think probably close to 15 minutes, but I will let you know for sure when we come back. And then we'll give them a taste and you'll see what they look like. And ugly crust and all, I think they're going to be pretty good. So I will see you back here when they're finished. All right, well, I took them out of the oven. They were in there a good 20 minutes. That's what they took this time, 20 minutes. And they smell amazing. I wish you could smell them. But this is what they look like. And for all the people who had a problem, excuse me, with the pie filling oozing out and the big mess and everything, I think it really is just you have to eyeball it, because as you can see, nothing oozed out. And I've made this recipe now with like 3 different pie fillings. I've never had a mess. So I think just kind of use your judgment when you're putting the caramel on, when you're chopping up your filling and laying it out. You want a thin layer. With a thin layer, you're going to get a result like this, which is a cookie. And they are so, so scrumptious. I really think if you haven't tried them yet, you'll love them. I'm going to go ahead and cut into one so you can kind of see. I don't have to do a blog post with these today because they're already on the blog, so it's kind of fun just being able to think about the video and not have to always take photos in between video shots. So it's kind of nice. But there you go. You can see the filling, the top. They're light and crunchy and buttery, and they're so yummy. So go ahead and give them a try. If you've tried them before and had a fail, try them again. I mean, it's really just food. We're not saving lives. It doesn't matter. You can even see the ugly kind of lattice work. That was unfortunate, but it happens, and it's just, you know, so they have some charm. But anyway, give them a try. Let me know what you think. Switch up the fillings if you want to do blueberry or any other kind of pie filling. And I look forward to hearing what you have to say about it now that you've seen it in action. And let me know how you like it. We'll see you next time. Bye.